Jyoti.
And my name is James.
And this is
The Authentic Adventist Home.
And today we are doing what?
Freezer meals.
Freezer meals to prepare for this baby over here. Yeah, so stay tuned. So as I mentioned, we're doing freezer meals. Right behind us there is a lot of mess, okay? We're not gonna get into that. But anyway, I also want to mention, guys, nobody warned me about the whole pregnancy wardrobe issues, you know?
This is beautiful.
But anyway, I'm wearing, usually you'll never find me wearing prints like this, but I had to get this dress from my mom. Thank you, mom. Because I had no option. And let me show you guys how the bump update. We're almost there, and this is how the bump looks like. Yeah, anyway, so today we are doing freezer meals, and the reason why we're doing freezer meals, if you haven't watched the ways we are preparing ourselves to become parents or be with a newborn, one of them, go and watch it, and one of them is through doing freezer meals.
Yep.
Can you explain one of the reasons why it's really good?
Yeah, because when the baby comes, I mean, we will not have time to be cooking.
Yeah.
You know, this is
spending so much time on cooking.
Yeah, because there's, you know, the baby needs attention.
Yeah.
It's our first time, especially because it's our first time, right?
Yeah. And we're just doing from what we have observed from our friends and family. They're like, ooh, you better prepare for that. So this is how we're doing the freezer meal. So behind us you will see that there is a lot of groceries that we bought yesterday, fresh produce and lots of other things that we bought. And we're going to be doing the freezer meals. So this is what we're gonna do. Basically, the freezer meals are like one pot freezer meals, and we're not cooking them. We're doing the preparation, because if you guys know, cooking is not the issue, like the main thing. The biggest thing is preparation, cutting, that's what takes most of the time. So because of that, we are doing all the cutting, the chopping, everything like that, and then afterwards we're going to pack everything into Ziploc bags. I'm just going to show you Ziploc bags like this. I know we could have gotten the other bags. What are they called? Yeah, but you know, we do what we can right now, and we will keep upgrading as we go. But yeah, so basically, let's say it's like a tofu dish. We're going to do everything that dish needs, and then put it in there, and then put it in the Ziploc and put it in the freezer. So because of that, we are deep cleaning the fridge. Our fridge is usually cleaned like every week or whatever, or whenever it needs to, but we're doing a deep cleaning. We're done with cleaning the fridge, but the fridge part of it, but we're doing the freezer next, and we're doing a deep cleaning down there, and we also need to do some sorting. So we have a lot, and it's currently like 5 p.m. Yeah, it's crazy. We may also have to move this to another day, but yeah, done with all the talking. Now let's get into the work.
Yep. I'm excited.
I'm excited and ready as well. Let's do this. Hey guys, so an update. You can see the after. Yeah, you see some space on the counters. That wasn't the case before. But anyway, we're making progress. James is cleaning the freezer. The fridge is already done being cleaned, and he cleaned the bins. We like using clear bins, just like the one I showed you, for storing our fruits, vegetables, things like that. And yeah, we're gonna now work on the freezer meals, and I'll let you guys know what we're making. Okay guys, so I have a list of things that we're making. Yeah, these things may sound very exotic, but yeah. So we're actually doing 2 batches of freezer meals. These ones are like the exotic meals that we want, so that, you know, like when we get bored, we try new things. And then there is our usual meals that we're used to. In case these things fail us, we have a backup. So today we're doing about 8 servings of 10 to 11 meals. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to be using the food processor though. So we're making exotic meals, like I said. Some vegan creamy black bean soup. Then we're making vegan nacho chickpea loaded with the fries. I don't do deep oil fries. I do baked or air fried with creamy spicy lime sauce. And then we're doing sheet pan roasted chickpea and vegetables. We're doing oven roasted cauliflower fajitas. We're doing vegan spicy coconut tofu. We're doing easy vegetable stir fry. We're doing teriyaki tofu. I don't really have teriyaki, so we're gonna replace. Most of these things I'm gonna be playing around. You guys, if you know me, you know following the recipe is not my best thing to do. So yeah, there is Chinese spicy garlic noodles, vegan enchilada casserole. If I'm not saying any of these things right, please correct me. Do not go to elaborate. And then there is the jackfruit burritos. You guys, James was looking for a real jackfruit in the in the whatever, in the store, but this is the one we're gonna be using. It's a plant-based jackfruit. It's a Tex-Mex meal. And then lastly, cauliflower walnut vegetarian taco meat. Vegetarian, please. Well, it's going to be vegan. I don't do cheese. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and I'm gonna try following a recipe. Hopefully wish me all the best. So as I said, here is cleared up. James is cleaning the freezer, and I'm gonna start meal prepping. Wish me all the best. Bye bye, see you there. Hey guys, so this is kind of like a part to this freezer meals thing, and I'm going to show you guys how the foods turned out. So first of all, this is all the food that we made, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit later on, but for now I'm grabbing my James's winter gloves because there's no way I'm gonna touch these foods as cold as they are. So the reason why I didn't show you immediately how the food turned out is because I wanted to show them to you in their frozen state. So I'm going to grab the foods one by one and then show you how they turned out. And we made about 11 freezer meals. So this is how they are. This is the first one. This is the easy vegetable stir fry. So yeah, easy vegetable stir fry, and it's just basically broccoli, tofu, like lots of veggies, and I put all the seasonings, everything. All that I need to do is pop this either in the oven or on the stove. I think this is the one that needs noodles, or it doesn't, I don't know. Anyway, I'll see what to serve it with. So this is the first meal, and this is a lot of food actually. Don't whatever, you know, these ziplocs, because they are holding a lot of food. And then this is the oven roasted cauliflower fajitas. Yeah, yummy, yummy, yummy. All these foods taste great. I just like did like this before we put them in the freezer, and this is how they turn out. I made sure that they are, you know, like standing, because I want to put them in a file format, and I'm going to share with you guys some tips after this, so make sure you stay tuned. But I just wanted to show you guys how the results are, so that you know. And maybe you can also get ideas from these names. Search it up and try these recipes out. This is all plant-based. Yeah. And then here is this jackfruit burritos. Nice. We're gonna put we have some tortillas, so we're gonna make burritos out of that. And then I was about to fall. Over here we have some vegan enchilada casserole. Look at this. Yep, guys, Google, because okay, I'm gonna share with you guys tips, and you're gonna understand why I did these exotic things, because yeah, these are exotic to me. I'm from Africa, okay? So we did Mexican, Asian, American kind of foods. And then here is vegan spicy coconut tofu. Yeah, this is going to be honestly a new test for me, because I'm not a fan of coconut milk. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah. And then here is Chinese spicy garlic noodles. This one is small because I didn't add the noodles. I'll add the noodles the day of cooking. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next one. Nachos chickpea loaded fries. I'm going to add the potatoes the day of, and then we'll toss it in the oven together. I didn't want to. Smells so good even now, guys. Oh, so this is it. This is how it looks like. It has lots of chickpeas, bell pepper. Smells so good, bruh. Hey. I'm being tempted to cook one of these and eat them, but anyway, we have to wait. And these foods can last up to 90 days in the freezer. So yeah, cauliflower vegetable taco meat. Has another word, but it's covered. So yeah, this is how it looks. Amazing, love it. So this one, we passed it through the food processor. So it's like it's cauliflower made into like a minced meat kind of format. Yeah. And then next is vegan creamy black bean soup. Smells amazing as well. This is how it looks like from the back. The spices kind of remain at the back, but yeah, can't wait to try this as well. And as you can see, I didn't add the water or anything like that right now. Just if it was like water, it was just like a little bit, like maybe 2 tablespoons or whatever, but I didn't really add water because it's going to be added the day of cooking, and there are some other things that are to be added the day of the cooking. And I'm not really providing recipes, I'm just showing you guys as an inspiration on what to do and how your recipes may turn out. Yeah. And then tofu. This doesn't have water, so it doesn't stick to each other. And this is teriyaki tofu. Yeah, I didn't really use teriyaki because teriyaki has alcohol apparently. Like the ones I tried to buy from the store had alcohol, so I made my own kind of teriyaki. Yeah, at home with the spices that I have. And then this one is like the most colorful one. We're ending on a great note. This is the sheet pan roasted chickpea and sweet potatoes and vegetables. This is it. This is how it looks like. You can see the sweet potatoes, broccoli, bell pepper, chickpeas, everything is in here, and it has all the spices. Oh my, look at this, guys. Frozen food. Anyway, having too much fun. So yeah, this is how everything turned out. Now I'm going to share with you guys some tips, so make sure you stay tuned. Okay guys, so now that you have seen all the freezer meals that we made, again, these are 11 dishes, and each of these are 8 servings each. So this will be able to last us about 2 to 3 days, depending on how much we eat and depending on how much we enjoy it, how many people we have over. But if it's just me and James, it will probably last us 2 to 3 days. So let's say 2 days. 2 times 11 is about 22, so it should last us about 22 days, which is almost a month. Now, the reason why I did exotic meals all here, not our usual, is because I know James can easily make. If I say, oh James, I want just peanut sauce or whatever, he knows how to make those. But then if I tell him I want teriyaki tofu, he's like, what is that? And these dishes are exotic dishes that I know we're going to enjoy. So we're doing this so that, you know, we're limiting the time that we're gonna spend on the prep work. And this is like dishes that usually take lots of work versus the usual dishes that we eat, which take less time and which James is more familiar with. So again, remember, I'm doing this for postpartum preparation. You know, after baby, I may not have the strength. It's my first time as a mom, so I don't know how it's gonna go, but I may not have the strength to stand in the kitchen and cook a full meal, but I still want that delicious meal. And if I want something exotic, because I love trying new foods from time to time, every week I like something new, so I don't want to give James that pressure. So because of that, these freezer meals are already ready for us, and we'll be serving this with either rice, noodles, quinoa, yeah, different things, you know, tortillas, nachos. There's some things here that will be served with nachos and things like that. So now I'm going to share with you guys some tips on the freezer meals. So first is create a shopping list beforehand. Before you go and shop all these things, make sure you create a shopping list based off the foods that you want. For me, I already knew the foods that I wanted, so the shopping list, I had the shopping list created, and it was easy to go shop rather than just grabbing things anyhowly. And then the other thing is use apps if necessary. I know that there are several apps out there. I'm not going to mention any, but there are several apps out there if you need to, or even just Google, you know, Google like freezer meals for vegan freezer meals, or if you're vegan, plant-based, if you're plant-based, whatever you are, just Google, and Google will be able to help you if you don't want to do the thinking. Or if you are someone who's like, no, I think I have these 5 dishes, 10 dishes that I like, that our family loves, then that's the best route to go. It's just that for us, yes, we have those things that we love, but then we are a family that loves exploring new things all the time. We love like trying new dishes all the time. So because of that, we are very adventurous when it comes to food. So because of that, that's why we're doing this. But again, do what works for you. The next is, I would advise you to have a food processor. It's not necessary, but it's just something that makes it easier. If you guys saw in the video when I was filming, I was doing it on my own as James was doing something else. He was cleaning the freezer and all of that. So, you know, it was very, very handy to have the food processor, because within like seconds, the onions are diced for me, or the carrots are chopped, or whatever it is. So the food processor is a great thing, because let me tell you one thing. okay, I know this is kind of getting ahead of myself, but one pro of this thing is that it saves you time in the future. But another con of it, like a disadvantage, is that when you are prepping it, unless you break it down into different days, it takes a lot of time. You may look at this food over here and you're like, oh, that's just little, you know, how much time must it have taken her? We slept at literally like 3 a.m. that night because, first of all, I love leaving my kitchen clean. So after all the mess was created, we had to clean up. But it took a lot of time. You know, it took about probably 6-7 hours to do all of this. Because I was doing it alone and I was doing it at my own pace. You could do it probably in less time and clean up as well. But yeah, it was all worth it. So it does take a bit of time when you're prepping, but remember the reason why you're doing it, so that you enjoy the future. Yeah, so don't just focus on the temporary benefits. But anyway, another tip I have is make the more complex foods to freeze and make the easier ones right away. The reason being is because, again, as I mentioned, these foods are a bit complex because for us, because they are not our usual meals. Our usual meals, I didn't do the freezer type because I know that I can just, you know, at any time cook it. James can easily make it. It's not something of a big deal. We are used to it. We know how to, you know, like, but then something that's new can take a bit more time. So what, or even in the things that you're used to, there are some things that are a bit more complex, like sauces, marinades, whatever, that will make you have like the entire kitchen messy because you're just making one marinade. Now you need a food processor, you need a blender, you need this, you need so many things. So make those foods to freeze so that you prevent the time wasted on cleanup or all these different kinds of things. Okay, the next tip is make foods that can last for days. These foods can last up to 90 days and I'm not scared. Again, I've done mine way beforehand because I want to rest at least 2 weeks towards the baby coming. I just want to rest and do nothing. So, and prepare my body for delivery and all of that. So because of that, I made the freezer meals way earlier and I made sure that they can last up to 90 days in the fridge. Depending on how soon you make them, just make sure that you make foods that will last in the freezer. And then next is thaw these foods under cold water. So when it's time for you guys to eat it, when you eventually say, okay, we want to eat this dish or whatever dish it is, thaw it under cold water. What does thawing mean? Basically, when you're ready to defrost or unfreeze or whatever you call it, just put it in the sink and run cold water on it and it will be able to break down. Do not use hot water, especially if you have these kinds of Ziplocs, because that's plastic and that's just super unhealthy and not good for you. And actually I would have used what are these bags called? There is this other bag, silicone bags. I was planning on using silicone bags, but guys, it's not in the budget right now, so probably in the future. But if you have the money for it, I would advise you to use silicone bags over just these plastic Ziploc bags, because the other ones are way more long lasting. You can reuse them and they have way more advantages, and even it's healthier. Okay. Now, so those are the tips, and to wrap this up, I just want to give you some pros and cons. I already said one of the pros is the pros of doing this, you know, whether you're doing it for postpartum or even just like doing freezer meals in general. It saves you time. The other thing, it saves you money. How does it save you money? Helps you prevent eating out. The reason why for us we're doing we love adventures in food is because we prefer doing that adventure at home rather than in a restaurant, because you know how much more that costs. So we prefer doing the adventure at home. So because of that, yeah, we're doing it like this. Okay, we're doing different kinds of foods that that we want to try, Mexican ones, like just different cuisines, so that we can have kind of like the restaurant feeling at home and save money in turn instead of ordering in. And then the other thing is it helps prevent throwing out food, because you've already frozen the food, like you plan ahead of time, you meal plan. And I guess if you meal plan even in the other things and you keep up to that meal plan, it could help you save money. But this for sure saves you money. And yeah, and then the other thing is it helps reduce waste. To be honest, even I would have shown you guys, but I'm already seated and I'm pregnant, guys, so I ain't gonna get up. But we used like the scraps from this, like from the bell pepper and the onion covers and all of that. We kept it in the fridge, and that's what we're gonna use for our vegetable broth. Yeah, great, right? So yeah, it helps reduce waste. Anyway, and the other con that I already said is, yes, it will save you time in the future, but you will need to dedicate time to doing this, because meal prep ain't something easy and something to joke about. So yeah, and then now to wrap this video up, I'm going to speak of the best foods to freeze. Yeah, the best foods that are great for freezing. And those foods are sauces are great to freeze, and then after you can just serve it with something on the side, you know. And then stocks are something great to freeze. Soups are something great to freeze. Marinades are something great to freeze. Breads and muffins are great to freeze as well. And also, these kinds of foods are great to freeze. So I hope that this video has been helpful to you. I hope that you've been able to enjoy and also learn something. You know, if you're thinking of doing freezer meals in the future, I hope that this video helps you. Again, you don't have to do this just when you are expecting a baby or postpartum or whatever. You can do this anytime, any day for your family. Honestly, if this works out, we're planning to keep on doing it just to save us time to spend with our children or to spend with each other and all of that, because we're a very busy family. Again, depending on your schedule, you may choose to do this or not choose to do this. But yeah, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.